Previously on Sailing Aquarius. When we're about to leave Panama, Aquarius is being hit, then repaired, and then we finally take off with a huge school of dolphins. Well, I still see land, at least a little bit of it. Where are you headed to?
Ecuador. Everything seems to be going good. We're headed to Salinas, and it should take us about 4 days, maybe 4.5. Hopefully we're going to hit some wind. We're going to cross the equator on this trip. So this will be the first time we've crossed the equator.
Majority of the circumnavigating sailors visit Ecuador Galapagos while crossing the Pacific, as it is a unique place and it's on the way to Marquesas, French Polynesia, but we found out that it's so expensive and very regulated. It would cost us approximately $2,500 and about 2 months of paperwork. And when you get there, you would not be able to use Aquarius to sail between the islands, as the boats are allowed to anchor only in one island and use local tour or taxi services to move around. Also, we heard some mixed feedback from people who visited Galapagos, so we went with another option, Ecuador mainland, Salinas. From there, we will take off to French Polynesia. By the way, that makes our trip longer but less expensive and a bit better position for the trade winds. Although I must admit, our friends went to Galapagos without prior paperwork and they paid around $1,700 and got 21-day visa. That is pretty lucky, although they ran the risk to be kicked out within 48 hours. But even then, $1,700, it's still quite a lot of money.
So we're going to head down here and then go all the way to Ecuador. Good morning, fellow cruisers.
Good morning.
Javila just said, what about the people that aren't cruisers? But everybody's cruising when they're cruising with us. So anyways, this is the first day of our crossing.
And shortly, we got a fresh fish for our crossing. And we have to verify what kind of fish is that.
All right, look and see. It's got some very distinctive lines there.
So, we're cruising in the middle of nowhere and we have a neighbor. A cruise ship.
Called Albatross.
Yeah, it's called Albatross. It's less than a mile away from us.
2 miles.
Oh, okay, so this is 2 miles.
Oh, 10 knots apparent. 5.8, 5.6. A little less than 10. Oh, you see 6 every once in a while. Let's take a look at the sails. Oh, looks like they made the sail just a little bit too long. But we'll have to make do. I gotta clean up this mess. So we got the ballooner up now, it fits perfect. I guess we didn't have it up all the way last time. But now we got our ballooner up just before the sun's gonna go down. Everything's looking good up there, except I need to clean up a little bit.
So the water again looks red. It was red, then it was blue. Now it's red again. Sometimes when you sail by, you still can see all the lines of different color. Sailing during the nights was quite nerve-wracking because of fishermen, and we understand that this is how local people make their living, but they have really long nets, and a couple of times we had to take in the sails and motor around according to their guidance or trying to understand their laser beam signals. It would be really great if there would be some sort of agreed upon rules so we wouldn't ruin their nets and wouldn't get ourselves in trouble.
As they start to turn, they come back.
No.
So this is what life's like on the road. It's laundry day. What,
It smells so nice.
what else is it today?
Yeah, it's Tuesday, right?
It's our anniversary. We've been married 8 years. Can you believe that?
I can't.
So anything to say about your anniversary?
It's 8 years with a lovely man. Very lucky.
We got our main and our mizzen out to try to keep us from swinging. As soon as we start swinging, it makes a lot of noise with our ballooner system up front. So we're dead downwind right now. We got our main and mizzen out just to stop us from going back and forth so much. And it seems to work really well. But it only works until you get about 10 knots apparent directly from behind you, and then the main starts making noise and we have to take it in. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. So what did you make, love?
My college cheap meal.
What's in it?
A fork.
A fork?
Yeah.
What else?
Ramen, egg, and chicken noodle soup.
Mmm.
It's really, really good.
Smells good. Looks like you have something heavy on.
This is a big fish. He's definitely trying hard not to get pulled in a boat.
This time we hooked one of the fishing nets. Luckily, no damage done. In the morning, as soon as I woke up, I saw one of the boats approaching us. And we are still a little bit insecure what's going on, so I keep watching them, and they kept watching us, and then they took off.
You gonna say something?
I'm making mosquito nets.
So we're just about there. 0.01. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We just crossed the equator. So we just crossed the equator.
We just did it. Cheers.
And that's how, from slimy polywogs, we transitioned to trusty shellbacks and became seaworthy sailors.
Better give them some too. You are now in the South Pacific.
10 o'clock. We already drink. We're sailors. We did it. After 4 days, we can see the land. I don't know if you can, but there is a little sliver.
To get to Salinas, it took us 116 hours, almost 5 days, and we reached the marina around 10 a.m. and we were greeted by Marina's boat.
Well, I hope they come for us soon. I want to get out and go see something.
Call number 5 or 6.
Marina, Puerto Lucia. Marina, Puerto Lucia. This is Aquarius.
What are they going to make us sit out here all night?
No, que lo saque, estoy diciendo. Ven, bye.
We finally made it through customs
Woohoo!
in Ecuador. Finally.
Woohoo!
They did not make us wait all night. They made us wait all day long. And when we were about ready to dock, we still didn't have our spot. So this time we had to stay overnight by the fuel dock.
So, Ecuador wants to have a captain's license. If you come to Ecuador and you don't have a captain's license, you've got to have some piece of paper that says that you do have a captain's license, because if you don't have a captain's license, then they're going to charge you $190 for sailing into their territory without a captain's license. So, we actually called up the guys over at Mission Bay Aquatic Center, and thank you Mission Bay Aquatic Center for sending it so fast, but they sent us my basic sailing course certificate and they took it. Yeah, it had nothing to do with, I cruised all the way through the Caribbean, crossed down to Panama, through the Panama Canal, down to Ecuador. That's not enough. But the fact that I passed basic keel at Mission Bay Aquatic Center, that was everything. Good to go. Signing off. I deserve another beer.
Puerto Lucia Marina is located between Salinas, with its popular beaches, and older Santa Elena. Marina itself is a part of a new fancy development with multiple buildings, swimming pools, and tennis courts that sailors can use. It also has nice, inexpensive restaurant with delicious foods. Just it closes at 6 o'clock most of the times, and as much as we tried, we made it only once or twice. To be honest, we were hoping it would be something like we had in Colombia, Santa Marta. New upscale marina, close to the city, excellent cheap foods, and super friendly people. It's a weekend, so first we decided to explore Salinas.
is just one of the many beaches, and it's packed.
Not as packed as that other beach.
When we arrived, there was a beach tennis tournament, so the whole area was populated with so many people.
So do you like it here?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We actually liked it so much that we came back there in the evening, because before that we had a get-together with a new marina buddies. Next day, we hop on a bus and take off to a long journey. We going to Guayaquil, where we will change the bus. And our next stop will be Cuenca. We did not stop in Guayaquil, but we were really impressed how big and vast it was. The nature was really beautiful, amazing mountains and valleys, except in 2016 Ecuador suffered big earthquake, and it was a bit scary driving in these steep roads with some fallen boulders on the side. Cuenca is located in the highlands of Ecuador at about 2,560 meters or about 8,400 feet above sea level. And it was funny, as before coming to Cuenca we were told by our buddies that it's gonna be cold there. Naive me, I thought it's just gonna be chilly. So when we arrived, people were actually wearing winter coats, boots, so I had to buy a really warm sweater and proper shoes.
That's what I got.
The city of Cuenca is the capital of Azuay province. It is viewed as the most European city in the country of Ecuador due to its 16th and 17th century era Spanish colonial architecture. The center of the city is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site due to its many historical buildings.
And this is Don Colon himself.
Yeah, welcome to my humble restaurant, and I hope we have a good time.
After a long day and 5 hours drive, we retire in a nice hotel, and next day another drive for a couple more hours to Ingapirca. Along the way, we enjoy stunning views the ride until our bus needs to stop. Apparently, there is a problem with brakes. Driving by, they noticed another bus using needed tools, so they just stopped and switched the tires very quickly and efficiently. And just like that, we arrived to Ingapirca. It is humorously called Poor Man's Machu Picchu, because it's also another remains from Incas.
This is Ingapirca. We have this area, we call this area Ingapirca. Ingapirca, that was a Quechua word, like an Inga means Inca, and Pirca, wall of the Inca, we call Ingapirca.
Greeted by friendly locals, we admired the site. Ingapirca is an archaeological complex with ancient Incan masonry. The complex was used as a fortress and storehouse. At Ingapirca, they also developed a complex underground aqueduct system to provide water to the entire compound. The ruins include the Temple of the Sun, a large oval construction once used for ritual and astronomical purposes. The Temple of the Sun is the most significant building. It is constructed in the Inca way without mortar, as are most of the structures in the complex. The stones were carefully chiseled and fashioned to fit together perfectly. It was positioned in the keeping with their beliefs and knowledge of the cosmos.
So you think you replaced Machu Picchu?
No. Of course, I don't know what Machu Picchu's like.
They had a sophisticated calendar system based on the reflections of the moon and the holes they had carved into rocks, placed under specific angles to catch in the moon reflections for each moon month of a year.
I like it. I really want to see the workshop.
Yep, come with me.
All right.
So here we can see a process. He's trying to blend the wood, you know. We're using this. It's hot, very hot. So,
And so he's making a guitar frame.
yep.
Are you kidding? You got guitar?
No. This is a machine gun.
Quarter after 4 in the afternoon. All these people came over when we had breakfast, where we're having breakfast, I think at like 8 a.m. So they're sitting here all day long. There's another one. That's how it works in Ecuador.
Hola!
Where are you off to?
Someplace where they speak French and not Spanish.
Now where is that?
Marquesas.
And we are off to Pacific Ocean crossing. Whew. We did a 200-mile, 24 hours.
And then they just come straight for us. I think they are creeps.